to then get on top of the Prophet, which then bought time for the Darkseid to come in with the mech and all the saves. Sure, Sven doesn't die, but you know, Sven jumping at position 5, you'd like to think that you can kill him in the early game. Guys, like you say, but for 2 big hits, they're not going to connect. Really jump too easily.
And how long will people keep that around for? Like, will they be taking it into tier 2s, maybe tier 3s, or no?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think taking it into tier 2 is a very, very good option. As much as I talk about it now, I am referencing a pub I played where Amar was playing Sven on my team, and then the enemy team kept Sister Shroud. It was like the Carlos and stuff. They kept it to like tier 3. And Amar was like, I cannot play this game. He just all chat like, I'm done. Tier 1 neutral item, deleted my hero. What the hell? You know, it's like, I'm like, here, like, don't worry, Amar, we'll do it, boss. And I'm just seeing him blinking in, and it's just like, miss. And it's like, all right, there's nothing we can do. My Sven's gone. The tier 1 item, it's broken.
Unlucky.
But of course, it's like against Sven, where it's like, big hit, wait, big hit. Of course, it makes sense. If you're against like Medusas and Morphlings, where they're throwing out like a flurry of right clicks, not so much. So, yeah.
I also wanted to mention not going to mention it, as you've got to jump here onto Solo. Solo getting beaten down slowly but surely, but the team's coming through and they will get at least 1 revenge kill here onto Emptiness. Now looking over towards Icarad. Lucas comes in though, jumping onto the Monkey King. It's a big target he's going for here. Does he have the damage to bring him down with the help of Mary? Yes, he does. In goes Storm as well, taking down Problems. Looking over to the sidelines here, T80,000 and Notice just going to get themselves out. So this game is looking very, very close now. In fact, I can't remember the last time we had a clean team fight coming out from the Cyber Geese. Quantum have been all over them.
They are just getting surprised by the jump, right? Like, they're in kind of the middle of like no man's land of the mid lane, right? They're just kind of like walking about. Sure, they jump on Nature's Prophet. They think they're keeping him alive, but with using all the resource to keep your Nature's Prophet alive, when the monkey gets jumped by the Sven, there's no resources available, right? There's no Sprout to buff up the monkey. There's no Greaves. There's no Snowball save. There's nothing. It's just monkey versus Sven. And Sven with the Blink Dagger and God Strength, you're going to rip through the Monkey King. We are going to see the replay here. And it's like, the fact that Solo, he is the one getting jumped, it feels good. But all the spells that I just mentioned, you kind of need to disengage at this point. This is not your fight anymore. But the Blink reveal from Lucas, not getting the BKB or from Chiro Jr., that completely stopped Cyber Geese in their tracks. And yeah, you could also ask, where's the Abaddon? He wasn't in the fight as well. He rocked up at the very end, and so many little questions you can ask. But the easiest answer is they need to play a cleaner fight on Cyber Geese. The whole point of their lineup was to break down the greediness of Quantum, to keep that map progression, to kind of itemize early on, and they're getting thwarted. The scaling is kicking in, and they've tried finding Solo, getting a solo kill, and yeah, he's gonna have what?
Solo kill.
I didn't even mean to, man. It just like,
yeah, I know. Now you're
I regretted it. After I said it, I instantly, my head was like, oh my god, no man, don't you dare say solo kill. I said that, and then you said it, and I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, it was a little nod, you know, just between us, but then we went to the PSA broadcast mode, unfortunately. But we're going for a Tormentor here. Up on the top side.
Hey, I think it's fine. Okay,
you're good.
Message me on Steam if you don't like it, alright? We can. I don't want to air our dirty laundry on the broadcast.
Sort it outside. We'll make it after we're done casting. I'll make the 3-hour drive. Actually, 2.5 hours each way.
Yeah, it's
scrap.
Yeah. We'll meet in Scotland.
It's not the halfway point, but sure. I want to go to Scotland anyway, so I'm down.
Yeah, same. Yeah, really nice.
20 minutes in, it looked like it was going to be a really dominating game from Cyber Goose. They had an amazing start. You know, their draft was doing everything it was supposed to do, but just some really heads-up plays from Quantum, especially coming out from Lucas. put them in a position where they're dead even in this game at the moment. And they've just picked up a BKB on this fence, so we're going to see a little bit more coming out from Quantum in these next few fights. I'm excited to see where this one goes.
Trying to poke out the borrowed time in the top lane. Not able to do it.
Yeah, Solo comes in and he does deal a decent amount of damage with the Spirit Vessel, but that was his final charge.
Yeah, it's time progressive though.
Teleport into the enemy fountain to get 2 more.
You get 1 more if you die.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's not worth it then.
No.
Oh, but this is definitely
hilarious. Quantum, they're smoked up. They have everything they need to get a fight now. The Blink, the BKB on Sven. If you find any hero but a bad one,
I was going to say,
you're
even
gonna
this
kill
guy?
No. There's the asterisk.
Emptiness really looking around here. He is searching and he is not finding anything.
He doesn't have a ward to place either, so he's kind of all out by himself. Leave him down.
Still trying to force this here. Notice does get noticed as they jump onto him on the backlines. It's just like right at the moment. Yeah, he's in the middle of the fight as well. He's got a split available should he want to use it. And yeah, we'll be committing with this one. Where is his Sven? He's looking at his first moment of entry, but they're just getting harassed on the backlines as Chira tries to jump the Oracle, but doesn't really kill him off, which means there is no Wukong's command for this fight. It's getting very awkward very quickly, and now they jump in. Lucas, though, he's so low. Can he get up the damage in time? False Promise comes out, turning this one around. TH2000, though, he's got a False Promise of his own as a borrowed time. Is able to get thrown into yet Lucas. Oh god, he needs to run, he needs to heal. There's a Chira Jr. right in his face though. Lucas running to the sidelines as Mary goes down. And now he goes towards Yayo as well. Jump out to Chira Jr. though as he runs to the backlines. TA2000 in the front. They won't kill off the Panda though. They lose TA2000 in this one as well. Chira Jr. happened to back himself away, but I don't think this is going to happen. Let's see. I mean, Storm, he's still got mana to work with here. He can still keep going. Tries to jump away, gets dragged out of the jump here by Iconrad as he gets himself an ultra kill.
Oh, what a fight there from Quantum. Of course, they went with the cut of the Monkey King. I'm sorry, I had to let out a little giggle there because Lucas, he kites back the Oracle, keeping him alive in the clutch moments, hides behind the tree line, and then he blinks right into the boundless strike of the Monkey King and just deletes himself. So after this like epic juke, he like hitting a creep for a bit of life steal to get 180 HP. Like we are going to see the replay, but like again, Quantum, when they make the jump, they are just devastating, right? Like the fact that you see Monkey on the top of your screen, he uses like, imagine if he doesn't die there, right? Like that is just going to be complete 100% devastation for Cybergeese. Still, it is, right? Storm, of course, cleaned up in the very end, but I think we are seeing problems now with the Radiant draft that this fight, the reason why it was so long is because for Radiant to try and kill a hero, they have to like awkwardly chase them forever. And as soon as you chase them, you will be out of position at some point where the Storm will punish you, or the Bat will grab you, or the Sven will burst you, right? It's like Dire really thrives when they're not instantly blown up or punished, right? And yeah, Radiant, they need to find a way to cleanly get a hero kill. It needs to be like Tusk plus Monkey double jump to kill Storm and then fight. Like, yeah, it's very, very difficult. As the game progresses,
if you want to be reductionist about that last fight, you know, Chira Jr., if you're solo committing Wukong's command in the backlines of a fight, you have to get your man. You have to bring down that Oracle. If you don't, then this fight just gets really awkward. And that's exactly what we saw. Like, the Sven was able to stand his ground, you know, he gets like all those debuffs taken off him. And yeah, I mean, that's all because you don't have Wukong's command, you still have Oracle. Like, that is a mass equation which is never going to work out for Cybergoose. So yeah, Chira Jr. definitely needs to step it up. as they get into Roshan and start taking down the big boy.
Also, we could also maybe, you know, praise the back right? The fact that fight started, he instantly lassoed the tusk to prevent the initial save on the Dark Villain. They knew what they were doing, and Roshan, let's fall to the Radiant side. We want Chiro Jr. to have a bit more presence in the fight, and, you know, slapping an Aegis on him, it's going to help him immensely. Of course, one way to play out against a Sven lineup is do everything in your power to survive the God Strength, timing, and play around its cooldown.
Courier has been killed.
Yep, that's right. Back rider dodges it. Yep.
Each brave courier knows the risks.
Also interesting that he went for, I mean, there's a few interesting facet choices on Quantum. One being the Arsonist on the back rider. Oh, hold on here as we got to jump onto Chiro Jr. Maybe, or not maybe. Oh, nice backwall coming out onto the forward onto the back line, but where is the follow-up damage? It just doesn't seem to be there at the moment. They have taken down the Oracle. Great start here for the Cyber Geese. Can they get any more? As Yayo just continuing to harass certain heroes, but they're on top of Lucas right now. Lucas forced to BKB, going for the TP up. That is not going to work, Fred. He is dead. No Sven anymore. And Icebread also caught on the sidelines here. He's got a little bit of mana to work with. Jumps forwards, hoping to get out, but no. TA2000 will bring him down with a missed coil. And there's going to be 3 big heroes dead on the side of Quantum here. An absolute wipe of a fight there. And Chiro is not done. He's finding emptiness here as well. Not happening.
For God's sake, you're a twerp that rides a bat.
The fights are just so turbulent. It goes from like one team making like excellent initiations and, you know, punishing the other, and now suddenly Cyber Geese are finding 3-man vacuums and they're utilizing the Monkey King cleanly. They also have the vision advantage the entire time, right? They have the high ground ward. So Quantum, they walked into vision, got completely destroyed because of it, and it's as simple as that. The vision won the fight that time around, and yeah, you're gonna see here, right? It's like Storm jumps Monkey King, the Sven's there as well, but they don't really overcommit, and yes. Okay, no, the ward was placed after, so Dai actually had to vision, so my apologies on that one. But the fact that your Storm and Sven both jump the Monkey King, but they kind of half commit, right? It's like a vortex and a zip out. It's a stun, but with no God Strength. Like, they didn't execute the Monkey King, and as soon as you initiate, all your team kind of swarm into that area, but you've not killed anyone. So now, yeah, you get the turnaround. A weird fight from Quantum. I wasn't expecting that. I feel like when you see a core hero, they're going to need to use more to kill him. It's not as if there's like an Oracle behind the Monkey King, right? You are the one with the Oracle. Like, that's why you're not really seeing Radiant go too crazy, because they need Quantum to show their hero position to then fight them. Because if they fight blind and jump a Sven out of nowhere, Oracle will save him, Storm will jump you, right? Like, you need vision for Radiant to fight, and Quantum, they just gave it. Yeah.
Also, another thing to mention is that Mary's gone for this build of Solar Crest into Blink Dagger. Obviously, when you're the Sven and your Oracle's sitting behind you with a Solar Crest, you're going to feel amazing. But if that Oracle has any problems whatsoever, if there's any hero upon him, he's going to feel miserable. No Glimmer Cape to survive it, no Force Staff to get away. I like the Blink Dagger choice. Like, obviously, that's going to allow you to just hide in the fights, blink in, get off your spells, and then, you know, whatever happens, happens. But yeah, it's a very all or nothing way to play Oracle, and we are seeing that play out in the fights, where these fights for Quantum have been really all or nothing. It's either gone great or it's gone terribly, depending on if they can find the Oracle or not. As Yayo's getting awkwardly caught out here and may just be dead. Spirit available if he really wants to use it. He'll throw it down, trying to get himself away. We'll allow him to survive this one.
The Nation Prophet now has the Acronyms as well, so you will be able to have a global route whenever you need it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We're going to go high ground with this Aegis. I mean, with no split available, it does feel like a tempting opportunity, and yep, they are absolutely going to take that.
Fortified.
Wow, look, little Treants.
Yay, it's just good to be back. I was happy to see no reinforced tree. Sure, they die quickly, but it's kind of what they're meant to do. Yeah, it was meant to happen.
Listen, as an Earthshaker player, I'm happy to see multiple Treants back in there.
Zip in, zip out.
A bit of zip in, zip out.
Attack the river. Okay, we'll see what they do in the river.
Attack the river. Is that like a new enemy? Tormentor, Roshan, and now River?
Oh, poor old Bat Rider.
Yeah. Trying to find himself a little pit to hide in, but yeah, they won't be getting away from that one. Aegis runs out, so I mean, it was a very good usage of Aegis, let's be real here. They took a good fight, they got every single tower off the map. Like, sure, they didn't go high ground, but in terms of like realistic map state, it's just, yeah, very, very profitable. And you can see that from the graphs as well, like the big sort of swing back into the Cyber favor.
Oh, into the abandon. They just sort of meant to take him, so they know he's by himself, and what do they know? The Tusk is still in the neighborhood to keep that alive.
Out and almost turn that one around. Did you see Solo's TP there? He just started a TP, like basically like on the steps of the fountain.
Yeah. That is one of the best mechanics of Prophet. Is you? Oh wait, hold on. They're finding the Sven.
Yeah, there's a really big catch here as once again problems creating opportunities and vacuum down to the low ground. Noticed. How did he know? Oh no, Mary getting caught out with his buddy as well. I mean, sure, he can blink away under the false promise, but there is so much damage on Lucas right now. He's gonna pop like a balloon. See you later. Two huge heroes taken out of the equation here. Oh, they are
still had the
fully
ball
back
from the
in
previous fight. That is why they knew that hill on the ward on the high ground, right? They see the Oracle on the top of the steps for a brief second, and Darks is like, thank you very much.
About, yeah.
Yeah. Very, very nice vacuum from the Darks here. Just playing the map, looking around. This is kind of what I expected to see. Like, after how well the lanes went for Cybergeese, this is what I expected to see the entire time. The fact that there's like these moments of Quantum showing up in the game is of course testament to Quantum skill, but also the kind of the lack of time that we've seen Cybergeese together. Like, they are a kind of a new team that kind of formed just for this qualifier, so they're going to have to iron that out if they want to try and beat the likes of the Auroras and the Navis. But for now, it is looking good. They are.
Yeah, well, as you said, coming into this one, as we have this going down, you know, this isn't a, oh my god, Anchorad going in, trying to look for a play here. That's a little bit brave. He gets double punch. Yeah, no BKB on this Storm, but he's just gonna get the kill and run away. All right, nice.
He shot. He didn't run away. He's stuck in the pit.
Oh, unlucky.
As you were saying, Cross? Oh wait, no, don't worry. They're still fighting. Please hold.
No, we're good. Yeah. Vacuum, wall, Mary, once again, regretting his life choices. I mean, let's be real there, a Glimmer Coat's not going to get you out of that one.
They're now finding Lucas. Oh, God.
Oh, my God, it's a one-on-one-on-one. They've broken them.
It's been like 9 minutes of just death after death after death. Like, when have we seen the 5-man smoke with like the Sven jump and the split? Like, ever since they jumped the Monkey King in the bottom area of the map, and the Storm Sven didn't kill Monkey, and then they got 3-man vacuumed and died, they've just not done anything as a team since then. Like, they've fully been just broken as a team. Reminded at how sweeping of map play this Radiant lineup can have if they get to control the pace of the game. It feels so awful when this is happening, because like you have all the damage. Like, there's nothing Quantum needs like to kill a hero. Like, they have everything. Just see hero, kill hero. That's it. Vision is the thing stopping them. They are not able to do it. I think just taking that Roshan was such a good call from Cybergeese. Like, putting the Aegis on the Monkey King, it gave them life. It enabled them to take the fight. If they don't take the Aegis, they're probably going to play way more defensive, skip waves, and Yayo is just running into all of them. He's like, hey, boys, I'm here.
Yeah, let's go. This is my Roshan, baby. Storm jumps in, but Chira Jr. gets the Aegis. They do get the kill to Roshan, but how much value is that? As False Promise actually coming out to Brew, allowing him to get off that ultimate. As Icrad actually picking up his BKB on the sidelines, and they have gotten the Aegis out of the hands of Chira Jr., but now on the second life, this is going to be tricky again. No False Promise available for this Sven. I don't know if he knows that, but he's getting clicked at by Chira Jr. non-stop. Lucas, though, on the run, trying to get up to the high jump. Then turn around! Chira Jr.'s actually dead. What? The Monkey King dying twice. Lucas gets another solo falls as well. TA2000, he's turning back around onto this one, trying to catch up these heroes. They just need to play it carefully. Don't poke the beast. but slowly get those daggers in him and bring him down to make it a 4th kill and an ultra kill for Lucas. How did that fight go that way, T-Gub?
Simple answer, Brewmaster the entire time, right? So he starts the fight by randomly running into all of them. It's like, wait a second, this guy could die. He doesn't die. Oracle, of course, keeps him alive. He's living the dream, gets the ultimate off, and then it's cyclone after cyclone after cyclone on Abaddon. Abaddon had 0 fight contribution that entire time. Right? I believe he just picked up an Orchid going into that fight. You could argue, maybe a BKB would look pretty good. You've not had to fight into the Brewmaster because Quantum just haven't fought you. Finally, after so many minutes of Quantum not fighting, they turn up to the fight with the heroes that we expect to see, right? It's Sven hitting the Monkey King with great confidence, Storm finding fight, and look at this. Look at Abaddon off screen just the entire time. It's just like, oh wait, he goes in for a little bit, wait a second, stunned up by the Panda, oh wait, you're now cycloned again. And Sven just getting a little bit of buff here from Oracle, kept alive. just
oh my god, he's even using the Void Panda to just push him back and tornadoed again.
Yep.
Oh man,
exceptional micro there from the Brewmaster to stop Abaddon from playing the game.
But is just MVP of that fight all over. With a honorable shout out to Mary as well. You know, I doubted you, Mary, and I'm so sorry for that. I thought the false promise onto the Brewmaster would have been a terrible idea. Lucas needs you, but Lucas doesn't need you. He's actually a big, strong player, can look after himself now. He's grown up.
I think the fact that we had seen Quantum make no move for like 8 minutes, I'll be honest, I was disheartened. I was expecting them to kind of sit back and slowly accept the demise, right? But no, they kind of woke up and contested that Roshan beautifully.
Yeah, both
I do love the fact that like
seem
that
to be
fight
fully have woken up now and both kind of locked into the game, playing some really decent Dota, to be honest.
I think TS1000 will ever think about BKB now that he just got completely deleted by a Brewmaster. Because at the moment he's opting for the Blood Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, you would imagine so, but so far, no. Which does seem questionable. I mean, I guess Bloodthorn gives you an opportunity to maybe kill off the Brewmaster, but Brew's got BKB, like that's not really happening. I don't know, Chief.
Yeah, it's kind of satanic. There's some massive items. That's why, like, I was so confused by how Quantum had played the game. Because like, they have all these items, yet they just kept getting picked off and not playing together. But yeah, it was... now that I click around the Quantum Heroes again, I'm like, wait, they really should... This should not be this difficult for them to like take a fight. This game is incredibly even. Like, we were selling the narrative as if it was like Cybergeese, you know, closing out the game, should be winning, but... yeah. Not, of course, not to be the case.
Yeah. I was a little bit baffled by the Bat Rider with the Arsonist and Hurricane Pike, like in a game where they were kind of getting a little bit squashed. It feels like a really odd decision, but you have to do it when you go for this facet, right? Like we've seen a few Bat Riders play with Stoked, but this does seem to be the more popular option.
You just do quite nice damage. It's like it's a support Bat Rider on the side of the map who's right-clicking you, and then on top of that, he'll eventually get BKB and he'll scale. Like,
scanning for enemies.
In time, you just need to respect Bat Rider more. King try to scout for the courier, sees him for a brief second, and they get married, but there's no vision, no detection.
Get that wand out of that, you're a junior. Give me that dust. You're playing against this guy now. Yeah, this is a good kill. This is a very good kill. The Outworld stuff.
Oh,
oh, that's a big catch here going on to Icarad, trying to get up the Lucas command, but they get grabbed by this. Oh my god! See you later, guys. See you later. Icarad just turns it around, takes them both out. Lucas just running around. He's not playing Dota, he's playing Whack-A-Mole.
Huzzah!
What do you want me to say? Sven hit big crit. Abba didn't even get off. Like 1300 damage
for it, dude. They just pretty thoroughly baited.
And OP. Like they found the jump on the Abaddon, right? Like the Abaddon gets the Storm Spirit. It's like okay, and then Monkey follows up, and I'm like, sure, but like the only way this really works is you need the Tusk to then be that final additional stun, right? If the Tusk doesn't come in, it's not to be the case. And yet Lucas he relishes this like clumping of heroes. Right, you see here they've used Snowball Punch to kill off the Oracle, and within a matter of seconds, TH2000 then jumps the Storm Spirit. So he's not respecting the fact that his team just used their kind of their pickoff potential on the Oracle. Baden getting kited at the Roshan fight, overplaying his hand at the triangle pickoff. Like it's
live. I think this is going for tier 4s. Look at my Batrider right now.
yeah, look at the damage.
Get him.
I mean, this is crazy.
Really good for tier 4.
It is, yeah, very good.
Stupendous!
For those of you that don't know, by the way, Batrider on with this Arsonist facet, he gets 5 stacks of sticky napalm, 5 levels of sticky napalm, sorry, which allows him to get up to a ridiculous amount of stacks and also apply on right clicks, and then the shard makes it work on buildings. So
I've been wanting this.
there's your little TLDR on why that Batrider just took a tier 4 by himself.
Now over here.
Jump in, Ironcrad looking on the back lines, just bullying TA2000, maybe trying to force out an ultimate hit, but it's not going to be that easy. Gets himself back.
Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
So yeah, just to clarify, the 4th to 5th level of sticky napalm doesn't actually increase the stack quantity. It's just the fact that you apply napalm through your right click on level 5. So you apply stats quicker because you can right click and cast sticky. The cycle of the conversation. Back to clean jumps and trying to dictate the tempo of the game, and it's not happening once you're talking about the ultra late game of Sven and Storm. You're lucky to even show yourself on the map against these heroes.
Ironcrad, leave Solo alone, man. Leave him alone. He's gonna get him. No, he's not. The shield comes out from TH2000. And yeah, Ironcrad has used BKB and a whole lot more for this, but he's got a regen ring going. He is absolutely hunky-dory.
Meanwhile, Monkey, he's trying to find the backline. He gets the Batrider.
Yeah, he's going to put it down here, but there's a whole bunch of heroes on his face. He needs to change the guard, and he will do so up to the high ground. Nice way to juke out this fight. As the rest of the team coming in, TH2000 this time gets the ulti up. He's not going to risk it. But Lasso comes out, the Batrider, he's still not dead, dragging TH2000 back into Lucas. TH2000 needs to leave. And he is going to get inside the snowball for now, trying to get himself back away from this one, but he is not escaping this one. Ironcrad brings him down with that Aghanim's, moving across the little problems as well. Tusk is going to die. It's another kill going the way of Quantum as they take control of this fight. Solo goes down as well. They'll move to the sidelines, find notice, and that is going to be 4 dead once again. They cannot put it together.
They are, yeah, it's looking to be over. Quantum, they had a difficult early game. The mid game really struggled. There was only a couple moments where they looked good. So then it took one Roshan contest, one fight, and everything it became theirs. Like 21,000 gold lead, items on every single core. Like you could not ask for anything else on them. They're deleting the buildings with ease. Look at Emptiness. He just wants to go back to the tier 4s. Like, look at my hero. Look at my hero.
Guys, look, that tower's got stacks on it. It should be Chira Jr. jumping in, trying to stop them, but they're missing 2 heroes, one of which is their carry. Chira Jr. trying to do it all, but they're focusing on that Ancient right now. They don't care about these heroes. Get the Ancient. 21 stacks of sticky napalm onto that Ancient. A good game is called. That will be it. Game number 1, it goes the way of Quantum. Despite a good draft, a dominant start, Quantum hold it together and come back not once but twice in this game number 1 to secure themselves the first game on the road to the International.
Yeah, no, an incredible game, right?
10 seconds. Dire must choose. Radiant's turn to pick.
What's it with?
Seconds. 5 seconds remain. Seconds remain. 5 seconds. Dire's turn to ban. 10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain. It is Radiant's ban. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Radiant's turn to pick. Seconds remain. 5 seconds. Dire's turn to pick.
Morphling.
Seconds. 5 seconds. Radiant's turn to ban.
Ember Spirit.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
Handsome devil, aren't I?
Tastes like chicken! Tastes like chicken!
Prepare for battle.
Bow to your new lord. Silence, fool! Rock 'em slowly out. I gambled. You lost.
Thirty seconds to battle. Welcome one and all to the main event.
Tastes like chicken! Tastes like chicken!
Denied. silence is broken.
Burn away your ignorance. Now should look to the middle tower. Who snuffed me out?
Mess with doom, you get the horns.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. He ensnared in thunder.
Double damage!
Dire's bottom tower is in danger. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
You'll hear no more from me. Your intelligence festooned by
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is in danger. Dire's structures are fortified.
Going anywhere.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire should look to their top tower. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is Dire's bottom tower is in danger. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. There is little hope for Radiant's middle tower. Dire should look to their top tower. Dire's middle tower
it's okay so far, 13 CS, but it could potentially get a lot worse. We'll see how Cybergeese want to handle the lane in the next 2 to 3 minutes to see if they can do some more damage to Quantum.
It is funny watching Sand King lane now versus what he used to be like with those massive sandstorms coming out of mid lane. You just can't even approach, and now you just stand like a foot away from the creep wave and you're completely untouched.
Look at the block on top.
Oh, emptiness.
Oh no, Solo got baited by it as well.
And yeah, I mean, Clear's not particularly healthy either, and the snake's going to do a lot of damage, but is it going to stop them from killing Solo? No, it is not. Gorgon's graph goes completely awry, but emptiness, he's going to be fine. He's got a wand. He's going to live. And deny off to the ancients, unless the creep. Oh no, I guess I die.
A little surprised Solo actually opted to try and pressure there, right? Like, he hits the Tusk, but the Tusk has Snowball. So it's like your body blocked the Tusk that could technically leave if he wanted to. Your Medusa isn't a high damage hero. Your Medusa's also going for a first item Midas, by the way. So it's not as if it's like a Treads Medusa that can maybe right click you. It is just a naked, no stick Midas. So yeah, I think.
Good lord.
Solo just playing a little bit too aggressive in top lane. 3 deaths already. First blood at the bounty rune, a death in the lane, a death at the neutral camp.
All right, Midas Medusa coming to a pub near you.
We said that everything boils on how quickly can Medusa get fat, right? If you get a Midas at what, 6 minutes, then have uncontested farm in the jungle. It's like the epic race to 3 items, pretty much. If we ignore the Midas being an item.
Yeah. And of course the late game scalability as well going to be slightly better. And Spectre, famously, not the fastest farmer in the world. She gets there, but it takes some time, it takes some fights. The biggest strength is the ability to join every single engagement by using that ultimate and always being able to cash in on a little bit of extra XP and gold. But that can be a detriment as well. As Problem's going very, very deep here. They really want to find Lucas. They're not going to. And now the TP coming out from the Tusk mean they have to back away from this one. Problems, he needs to leave. He's got nowhere to go. Shards are going to come out and, oh no, the hands off the keyboard. Oh, goes for the deny! Oh, his asset! The foul play, the innate. I don't know if it stopped him getting on the deny there, but it certainly made it harder. So, alas, this chicken will be cooked. And Lucas is the one to grab that kill as well, which is exactly what you want. Spectre getting an early kill, speeding her up a bit, making her a little stronger, and heading towards that level 6 faster.
Yeah, and Lucas is thinking about some options here. As a 6-minute rune, that's
got that. And it's a Viper kind of just has to ulti here if he wants to live, but I'm not even sure that's going to be enough. Is anybody coming in to help? No, they're not. Conrad is just going to die.
So a little bit rough. Say a little bit. No, that's rough. What am I saying? That's very rough.
Yes, getting solo killed. And I mean, that was a solo kill with an audience. There were supports there, but they didn't have any impact on that at all. Both teams are just kind of watching their mids duke it out with popcorn on the sides.
So he gets hit there. He gets hit. Yeah. I'm really happy that that spell isn't like ult cast, where like you can turn it on and off. And that is
Can we send it over to our judges to say whether he would have been denied if it hadn't been for the innate?
I believe it was before the replay was showing. I believe it. I believe I did see the.
Patrick, what say you? Give us a nod or a shake.
No, denied.
No. Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
There they are. Woo! The froglets and the boglets.
I just love the animations. Such a random addition to Dota, but already quite nice. I think that, like if they stay in the game long enough, like they could become like more iconic than like a Cobalt. And that's a hot take, boys. That's a hot take. I know Cobalts. They are integral.
They will never get a crowd going like the Kobolds get a crowd going.
All right, but if Dota, sorry, let me rephrase that. When Dota's still alive in like 15 years time, we're gonna have the Polywogs versus the Kobolds.
If we have at TI, if we have someone dressed up like the Masked Mage Apprentice, playing the flute, like absolutely banging out tunes as Problems is dying here, this is like 4 heroes coming in for a kill to Problems. It is what it is. That's what I'm saying. That's my react. If you make that happen, then I will relinquish the Kobold title to the Marsh Mage Apprentice.
There'll be a cosplay. I'm sure there'll be a cosplay of it. mean, if you want to win the cosplay competition, you know what to do, boys.
And you can play the flute, or you think you can learn the flute quickly enough to bust out a tune. I think that's a very, very important, though.
Let us.
Yes, to play the flute in front of thousands of people with large audio, and I'm sure they'll hear it.
I'm sure it's easy to set up musical audio in a large arena like that. Don't worry about it. Mary getting brought pretty low. Shirajina doesn't. Damn, he's just playing in between the tier 1 and tier 2 of the enemy side. He does not care at the moment, recognizing that their lockdown for him is extremely limited. Has a shield rune, so yeah, go play some Dota.
Everything happening right now is greatly enabling the build on the Medusa, right? Like, if tier 2000 had bought Midas to then lose his tower to be fighting, it's a problem, right? But it's not to be the case. And also, he might not even be doing the Manta build. He's looking, I believe, to be going for the Maelstrom, which then means
Maelstrom
most likely Maelstrom Ags, going for more kind of like the stand your ground, get the split shot available as quick as possible, do damage. So yeah, it is a slightly different build.
Yeah, Lebanon Scepter does give you the old 25 time of applying attack modifiers. Ooh, nice jump away from Lucas there. A tasty bit of tech from the Spectre. Chiro Jr. though, undeterred by his target escaping and still continuing to try and make this aggression happen. Lucas trying to poke in, prodding, and in comes the Iconrad Stand King as well, but does not have a lockdown. Chiro Jr. just getting away again. He can do whatever he wants in this game, it feels like.
Dire's middle tower is under
Quantum,
attack.
they're just not really bringing the numbers, right? It's, you know, Cyber Geese, they are always ready. It feels like Storm making the jump, forcing TPs. Now AA's mid, and now they're fighting bottom, but now AA's mid, and Sand King's by himself, and Tusk is down. Like, everything's kind of disjointed for Quantum because they are reacting so much. They need to find time to have their own moment in the game. And of course, picking up a haste rune on the Sand King might be enough for them to feel like they can potentially smoke. They do have one on the Ancient Apparition. This entire time, Dawnbreaker has just been farming on the side of the map. But the net worth is just not looking good for Quantum at all, right? 3,700 gold, 3,900 gold for the Spectre, the Sand King. You compare that to, like the Deucer and the Storm, the Kunkka, that they are thriving. Like, they need to get kills. The point of this lineup is to get into the game as early as possible. A quick blink on the Sand King and play on every global spell that you have, but yet to be the case. Their lanes are just too weak, so their entry to the game has been delayed by some critical minutes. Not farming up the stacks, this will give the blink dagger, yeah.
God, this is looking to be a record-breaking game on Medusa at the moment. There's no pressure at all. She's been able to come into lane quickly, grab a few creeps there, back to the jungle, get off Midas, like a Midas Deucer, and they haven't been able to respond to it. That is bad news. Again, Notice just trying to make plays down the bottom side. They're going to go on to Lucas here. Lucas, he has the Shadow Step, but he just cannot get it off. Emptiness needs to come in and help out with the snowball, but stop my problems. The shackles are there. Lucas dies. And with just a couple of heroes, Quantum are able to kill off the enemy carry. Has a global escape ability, by the way. And even solo, besides chefing up Iconrad a little bit here as well, also. Like, this is bad news.
Yeah, Quantum not really wanting to use spells, right? Like Emptiness, he delayed using the Snibble, then got shackled.
Hold on, spell being used. Spell being used, everybody. Spell being used. Spell was used, T.
Top tower is
Spells just weren't used very well by Quantum in the last 25 seconds. No Snowball, no good Solar Guardian, Epicenter missed.
Epicenter still on cooldown.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure now for sure. 4,000 gold lead. And now with Solar Guardian on cooldown, or Epicenter on cooldown, this blink timing on Sand King, which was meant to maybe be like the life entering Quantum, it's just stalled out. They're gonna have to wait another minute and a half.
And that's another 1,000 gold from Medusa. Oof, not gonna work out very well.
But don't worry, Nomad. The last time we spoke like this, Quantum, they found the fight.
I'm not sure I'm feeling it this time around.
Neither am I, but for the sake of the audience, they found the fight in game 1. They might be able to do it again in game 2. Alright.
Solo. Surely this is a kill. Oh, never mind. The Sand King didn't go off. He wants nothing to do with this. Just completely baited Mary here. Poor old Mary. Let's try to go for the kill on Solo. Not going to happen. Emptiness. Oh, wait, hold on. Finishing the job. The global presence. There it is. Chirurgy wasn't very low on mana here. So if they do decide to go for this fight, things might get awkward. The snake's coming out from problem, though. That's going to create issues here for a side of the side of Geese. But that said, Valentino just coming in and hammers down onto him anyway. He don't care about no snakes. Jerry Jr. with a nice long zip away. He's still going to
still looking
mana to work with the soul ring. Although finding the angle though, he does get out. Emptiness still chasing, and he's got a punch available. They'll take him down. Palantimos finding his team away back into at least this fight. Still a long way to go to say they're back into the game, but this is a step in the right direction. Solo really just big kind of Chihuahua energy in this game, where he's kind of just barking at any core that comes near him, and they can't really fight back. he just grabs them.
Yeah, you know what? I've never thought about it that way, but he actually, that is his entire gameplay for his entire career, right? Like, pick Ogre, walk up high ground, plays SD, still walks up high ground, right? Like, that is him in a nutshell. Like, the Dangerous Prophet, TP in, don't care, right? It's
TP into base in the mid lane, where it was like him solo versus Einkrad, and he's just casting spells, gets into half health. Like,
no, for Quantum, it's great to see that they have the fight in them, right? Like, they do find some kills. Of course, we were expecting them to be able to do this at minute maybe 9, 10, 11, 12, but it doesn't take them nearly 13, 14 minutes of the game to connect their heroes, and it's going to feel good in the moment, but in the back of your mind, it's like, imagine if we were able to do this a little bit cleaner, right? Like, now that Medusa finally leaves the top side of the map, takes your bottom tower, like, you click on her inventory, it's like, oh, wait a second. Guys, we may have a problem. The Deucer is here. So, yeah, Quantum dealing with some problems, but other ones are quickly rising up.
Yeah. Like, this Medusa is so killable without the Aghanims. Like, the Aghanims with this sort of build, it gives you everything. At this point on, from this point in the game, you have Maelstrom, Hand of Midas, Blade of Alacrity. Like, your stats are non-existent. You're sitting on 900 mana. Like, TH2000 will die to a gust of breeze, but luckily she's been fully sheltered this entire game.
All right, okay. It was 991 mana. You were really, for all the Spotify listeners out there, that was.
I'm telling you need to make it.
Yes, true.
Need to make it sell the narrative.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. A glass cannon on the Medusa.
Yes.
Yeah.
With undulation, we were also ignoring, but that's fine. And the great healing lotus she has as well.
I say, yeah, the 14 wand and I was like, are you going to get to the point in which we now say she's tanky or?
No. Very squishy.
Right, okay, very squishy. Ags is
here in the middle lane by Chira Jr. He took the carrot and he regretted it immediately afterwards. Solo just going to use that ulti onto the Sanking. Sanking sort of in a bad position now. TH2000 joining the first fight of the game here to try to just bring down the Sanking on the sidelines, but can't quite finish the job. So damn slow on Medusa. Cannot finish this kill. The Palantimos may be on the sidelines. Yeah, with the X-Mask coming down, doesn't look like there's a way out for the star, the Dawnbreaker, and Yayo will fall. So, this time, despite losing their Storm Spirit, they bring everybody on the side of Quantum, and it is too much for the side of Geese to handle.
Yeah, the save, the sustain of Quantum Geese. When Quantum Geese just come
notice! Oh my god, he runs into the Sandstorm with Blade Mail, gets around the creep and catches into the Tidebringer. That was one of the most stylish kills I've actually seen in a while. That was
didn't
sick.
see it. No, I was looking elsewhere. Oh well. My bad.
Einkrad just getting absolutely read like a book there. That was a full-on gut read. I mean, the scoreline's only 9-9, but with the Medusa in the game versus a Spectre, that's going to feel very, very good for the Medusa team. And don't look at that money.
You're a trusty mate.
Yeah, I'm moving to the bottom side to the map as 5. They get the deal as well. They have the control in the area. Sure, there's nothing to snowball.
He's fine. Absolute fun. Oh, big bait maybe here. It's a burn strike through the three of them along with the ultimate style teamers, but who's really getting baited here? There is just a lot of damage coming out. Sure, they'll take down the Shadow Shaman, but it ain't much as Yayo's looking to fall here. Shiro Jr., he knows they're out of resources. It was a flashy start to the fight, but ultimately they just do not have the damage. There's just too much tankiness up on the side of Quantum.
Yeah, the Glimmer Cape on the SD, the Pipe on the Kunka, you're able to brush off the Sanking, and then because of that, the Spectre doesn't want to overstay her welcome, right? Shadow steps in, maybe you could argue you could get a kill on the Storm, but goes, you know what? My team's kind of crumbling already. I need to back out. I need to make sure that I'm not giving away, you know, an additional death.
Your admiral is on board.
Yeah, Quantum, they're feeling the strain. The sustainability is so powerful. And they need to try and find a way to, I mean, realistically, when I say we need to find a way, it's going to be a smoke, right? Grab a smoke, get yourselves into a good position, find a hero, blow them up, and then disengage. We're yet to see Quantum, you know, set the pace of the game, right? Like, it's not as if Puff is finding a kill on one side of the map with Spectre, and on the other side, the AA and Sankin getting a kill. Like, there's so much potential for multiple pickoffs occurring at the same time, but they have been, you know, cornered into just such a small area of the map so early on that it is unlikely to see that pacing from the lineup. As Aghanim soon completing the Sand King, that will, you know, motivate Quantum to want to be the aggressors.
Scanning for enemies.
That could be the timing they're looking for. We shall see. It does feel like they just can't bring enough to these fights. They're relying on like these little pickups on the side as the X-Mark's going to drag Lucas back in, but lockdown follow-up isn't really there just yet. There comes the electric vortex, but Lucas is going to get snowballed, but it's a snowball back in, but they've still got Yeo coming in with the Solar Guardian, and Lucas, he's just about going to live through this. Emptiness gives his life to keep his Spectre alive, but does do so successfully. That was a lot used to try to just make sure that Lucas stays alive and in the game. It's a little bit tough.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures
down. Yeah, like every pickoff with Shaman on the team leads to some type of objective pressure. It is. Even though the tower's not going to probably die, still a fair chunk of damage done. It's only a third actually. It's not that much damage.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Infrared nearby with a brand new Aghanim Scepter. He's got a new toy to play with. Is 2,000 the target you want to go for? Apparently it is. They're going to try and just throw everything onto the Medusa. They know she has no stone gate, but she does have solo. Just as good. Destruction comes in, breaking up the fight. Although the Ice Blast coming through, landing onto everybody. Solo is going to drop, but they'll return with Solo dying, and Icarus dying in the middle of this one as well. Emptiness and Yayo trying to fight up together. It's a lot of damage coming out from the Dawnbreaker, but she is going to die. And notice getting low just as the Ice Blast runs off. Unfortunate, and that is everybody dead on the side of Quantum. They just didn't deal the damage. The Spectre tries to jump in, but just getting chopped down by all of that physical damage from the Kunkka, from the Medusa. It's too much for her to handle with just a Radiance at the moment.
Yeah, it felt like they were hoping for the Geese to be slightly out of position, right? Like when you're jumping Medusa there, you're kind of hoping that Shadow Demon isn't in range to hit a Disruption or to put a Glimmer. But they are. Like you look on the minimap, they're holding the high ground on the left-hand side. They are very quickly able to react, and every little spell buys just enough time that, sure, Quantum, they're hitting the big 2-3 man Ice Blast. They're doing enough to kill off the Medusa, but the fact that it took that additional 4, 5, 6 seconds, now there's a boat, now there's an extra little bit of resource, and they do all go down.
Shiro Jr. through it all, just staying alive, so having enough mana to just constantly cast through these fights. It's
one of those painful things, because it's like you watch that fight, and even though Quantum lose the fight, you can see in a different timeline, what if their lanes were better? What if they utilized their early Blink Dagger timings better? Like this engagement, they could potentially just wipe the side, you know, of the Cyber Geese.
You have these big ultis, that's kind of what you expect. Epicenter, Solar Guardian, Ice Blast, you know, when they all connect like that, it always looks good. But again, just always been a bit behind the mark.
Step lively now. Your
Just keep looking at the net worth, and it's like, and normally, like when Medusa lineups, you play so sacrificial on the other two heroes to like break the map that you kind of have this like Medusa versus every other core being evenly farmed. But this time, like the Kunkka and the Storm, they're also just breaking away from the Quantum cores and ensuring that they are equally scaling somewhat in line with the Medusa. Makes it even more potent. And noticed he had the blade mail, the pipe. He's looking at just going back for a radiance. He's like, all right, we're just farming, guys. There's no reason for me to buy more auras and to potentially hinder my scaling.
Dire's top tower
Talking about scaling in more ways than one. Medusa with the Aghanims, with the Mjolnir, now going in for the Skadi next. Not going to be long before she hits that timing, and that's going to be really, really hard. Palantimos has kind of been playing these fights really nicely in fairness, but utilizing his mobility and trying to like heal up a little bit with the Luminosities. Starbreak's coming down as well, but that's not really going to be possible anymore. It's going to be an all or nothing fight from Palantimos after this. Skadi comes out on booster. Can't stick around. With Roshan going down, it should give him a way to easily siege towers. Might even give it to Storm Spirit, to be honest with you. Nope, 40,000's gonna grab it. And yeah, that's your battering ram to take down this place. Send in the Medusa.
Yeah, he is what 1,300 gold away from a Skadi. He'll be able to get that during the Aegis timing. So there is a world where an Ags, Mjolnir, Skadi, Medusa is split-shotting at your high ground. Spectre jumps onto the...
Alright. Fine. Well, I guess I'll take it.
Okay, we didn't really mention it, but the Tusk going with the drinking buddies facet this time around. I personally think it's pretty viable against utility Kunkkas, because the control of Kunkka is like you X them, you boat them. It's like they have to be in that position. So any repositioning to combo break the X boat, it does hurt a lot of what control Kunkka brings. So yeah, I'm not opposed to it, especially because in lane, like you don't really need to overwhelm the lane with the tag team, as they already got kills without it. So I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But because of how like awkward the game's been, we're yet to be like, oh my god, Tusk, the drinking buddy is saved. Wow, it just kind of feels like a non-factor yet. But potentially something to look at if there is to be a comeback fight. It could be something as small as, you know, the save of the drinking buddies into a snowball to then buy time to open up a fight. So we'll need to keep an eye out for that. And TH1000 actually didn't even finish this. Wait, did he? No. Okay, he misclicked. He accidentally bought the Blink Dagger, then sold the Blink Dagger quickly to then buy the Skadi. So there's no way you're going one Ultimate Orb Blink not having Skadi. That would be unhinged of a build.
You get an Aegis, you need to get in there, dude.
Yeah, true. Now 3 minutes
Liking
on the
this
Aegis.
casual push up in top lane. Yeah, just take the tier 3 tower whilst I'm at it before we switch over towards mid. This will be the final tier 2 standing on the side of Quantum.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm just a little upset we might not see the Spectre Aghanims. Like the Spectre pick on paper looks so good into like Shaman and SD that you get into the late game, you have an Aghanims, you press your Haunt, you see everyone. The supports cannot stand their ground, but the way that Cybergeese played this game, it was disciplined, farm efficient, don't allow any time or pickoffs from Quantum, and they are uncontested as they hit the high ground. They're taking top cracks with the Medusa, they're taking mid. We're kind of trying to take mid to certain wards, but the tower is killing a couple.
Split focus. Like, no, they actually want to take top cracks. No.
Oh, backline. Oh.
Okay, we're trying to make something happen here with Lucas coming in for this one as well. It's looking like a pretty mad jump. In comes Snowball. They've got a notice sort of low here, but it doesn't really matter. Emptiness. He might be dropping. Nope, gets away. Knife Arrow strike, but Palantimos has been left behind, but not before he gets a kill. Brings down Notice. A little greedy there from the Kunkka, coming close to the Dawnbreaker and suffering for it. I think you take a trade there considering how that fight went, but the problem is the Medusa still has an Aegis, she's still got plenty of HP, and is still attacking your buildings.
So they're attacking both. I've never seen the mid and top siege by one hero at the same time. That's been an interesting one, but it is very effective in this game. They take the range rats mid, melee top, backdoor kicks in for just a second, and they now take the range rats as well. Okay, Quantum, they tried to go for the wraparound, they tried to get... No, they can't kill the Medusa. They can barely kill her once, they're not killing her twice. No. The epicenter does not connect.
And again, this Aghanim's build with the Skadi, with the Mjolnir, like the damage coming out from Medusa now is crazy. Not to mention the debuffs from the Skadi as well, and that applies to everybody. It is going to be so hard to stand your ground in this fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
CA 2000. The boss of the game. 22k net worth at just 28 minutes into the game. Final layer barracks now exposed.
20 seconds per center.
What do you do? Can they wait that long? I mean, I think they have
no,
to.
it's 5 seconds, sorry.
Snake slow. There's a disruption as well. Aegis still 20 seconds left. They can somehow force them back off these barracks for 20 seconds and delay a fight. They can't, so they're just going to have to go for it now. Eichenbrand going on the backlines once again. Notice he's going to be that side, but the boat's going to come down in time, giving them that tankiness. And Diego getting so low on this, he's going to fall. Huge now actually popping the ulti just to get back and help his team. And that is going to take down just about everybody on the side of Quantum. An attempt was made, but it was not very good. And I think this might be game. There it is. GG gets called. Game number 2 goes back the other way, leading us to a 1-1 in this series. The game 2 looking much more convincing than game number 1. Cyber Geese will be taking it.
Yeah, and it's one of those games where it's like, I expect Cyber Geese, like, the way that they played this, the discipline they had, like,
to know Dire's orders. The Dire scan. On the hunt for Radiant forces.
A bounty which will make you happy.
Arcane Reservoir.
Structures against attack. There is little hope for Radiant's middle tower. Dire's top tower is in danger. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Where there's a wind.
generations.
Bottom is missing.
Dire should look to their middle tower. There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
You lack discipline.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant should look to their middle tower. Radiant's middle tower.
Loaded to the gills.
Yes.
Dire are scanning for enemies. Radiant are scanning for enemies. Dire should look to their bottom tower. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Is no more. Dire are scanning for enemies.
Bottom is missing.
Running with the pack.
for enemies.
This fire will never go
But
out.
his fate will always be to rise again. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is no more. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Invisibility!
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
Must burn.
Loaded to the gills. now.
Haste!
Radiant's turn to pick.
It feels like it's providing stability where to fix this problem. Okay, tier 2000, you got to pick this specific hero to do this, right? I feel like when you lay down the foundation of like Kunkka SD plus whatever other position 4 support you want to go for, it. Sure, Shaman is one of the counters to a puck because you have Hex, but you know, you play with the good vision, you know where Shaman is, and you don't really mind. Storm Spirit that we just saw in the previous game, like, there's so many options to utilize to close out the phase, and now Quantum. They know that if they want to play out this game with skirmishing potential with the Darkseer, they do need explosive damage. Like with SD Disruption, the run buff that we saw utilized in game 2, they can't play a slow fight. They need to be, you know, killing it with the wall, killing with the jump from the Shaman. So that's what I want to see in the next 2 picks.
Yeah, getting on the backline is going to be really, really important. Storm obviously has been hotly contested in this series so far, 2 games out of 2.
Ooh, okay, Tiny. Are they going to keep the Tiny as a flex here between obviously support, mid to core? But also it could just be the position 4 to play with the Darkseer. Like the default answer would have been you pick Tusk for Quantum, you have Tusk Darkseer lane, it's aggressive, you put Shaman 5, you run around the map, you find kills. Like it makes sense. But they don't go for it. They go for Tiny. So maybe they're trying to do something a little bit more creative by keeping the, like I said, the draft a bit more open. It would depend on this pick here. If they're flexing the Tiny between a support position or a core position. It is explosive damage at least. If it's a
it is,
even in carry, but behind carry it's locked behind items. Okay, so most likely.
But I think
mid. I feel.
Yeah, potentially. I think the flip side to what you're saying there is that if it is carry, then the lockdown, yeah, it's hidden behind items, but it's also applies to everybody. Which I think is sometimes the issue with Conqueror, is that like you have this burst hero at like, you know, position 4 or mid or whatever, but you don't have enough to just like dump everything onto a Conqueror and take him out of the game. Like he's still going to get off his blade mail, or he's still going to get off his bow, he's still going to be able to cast his spells. But on carry, you can eventually do that, which I think is what they're looking for from this pick. Maybe we'll see. No,
for sure. Again, like the mid Tiny is Blink Dagger of crash landing and you kill supports. Carry Tiny, like you said, it's farm 3-4 items, get Shadow Blade, play like Nightfall, where at any minute any core is dead, right? So it really depends. Does Quantum put it in the role for the time that you want it to match, right? And for Cyberkeys, they just go for the Ember. The lockdown from Quantum, it's limited, right? There's an Ice Path, there's an Avalanche, there's a Toss, there's a Hex, there's a Shackle, but to try and apply that on an Ember is already going to be somewhat difficult. Then there's going to be turnaround potential, like we already mentioned with the Kunkka DSD. So even if you do catch the Ember, are you killing the Ember? Mage Slayer, very potent this game to brush off the magic damage of just every hero on Quantum. So yeah, strong Ember pick. Strong way to stand your ground. And for Quantum, we didn't talk about the Chikira, but I kind of like it against SD just for the fact that it's like if you jump a hero, they get saved. Now you know, okay, Ice Path that disruption, Ice Path, or like Macro Pyre, like throw everything onto that disruption and you'll get the kill. So it's kind of like a cute little response to the SD, but they do have big Ember problems, and they're going to need to find a response to it. Of course, beating it in lane helps, but Quantum early banned the Monkey King in the first phase, and then Cybergeese just banned out the Husker. So the only other kind of counters to Ember available are the mid Death Prophet to pressure tower. Then you have like a Slardar just to try and play on the kind of the bash and the right click against melee heroes. They're kind of like the bigger two counters available.
Could be really interesting, and we have seen these teams get a bit creative in their picks as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it at all.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Is there any other mid that I'm missing that can stop the Ember from laning? I think maybe there's like the mid bat could be pretty cool. Like, yeah,
I'd definitely be down for that. Yeah, I like that idea.
There's DP, there's bat, there's I mean, there's plenty of like options. Of course, they're not as good as the Husker, the Monkey King, right? But still, as long as you delay the Ember from getting Mage Slayer and like dictating the tempo, I think they would be relatively happy. And you pick up the Pangolier. So it's gonna be a carry Kunkka, offlane Pangolier, sorry, and mid Ember. Very skirmishy. This is,
yeah, this is a ruling lineup.
Yeah.
Wanting to prove that they don't just need to go for, you know, some big hard carry and run around the map as 4 and make space for TA2000. No, they want to give TA2000 a chance to play a bit actively as well. Play multiple forms of Dota 2. It's exactly what you're going to need to do. Like, if you just lock in on the 4 Protect 1 strategy early on, then you're never going to make it far in these qualifiers. So, doing what's best for the situation. Quantum, what is your pick?
It's a
10
big
seconds
jug
left.
of water. You see that?
The chug jug.
Oh, Life Stealer. It's a tiny just
now, so it's not the tiny carry. It will be Iconrad tiny mid.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke about Life Stealer as a response to Kunkka like in the first start of the draft, but I kind of forgot about it and moved on to maybe they want to shut down the Ember, but they don't want to shut down the Ember. They're content with the trade of farm between Tiny Ember. Play for the fact that who gets the rune, who gets the jump. Like, it's more of a discipline game rather than a let's Monkey Kingdom out of the mid lane, right? Of course it was banned, but you know, it's the hero I thought at the moment, but still.
And how many times have we seen it where a team's gone all in on countering an Ember? The Ember doesn't have a lane. He's really, really sad. And then like 2 fights. And he's so... I think the problem with Ember is that he's so easy to survive. Like you just have like 3 kind of get out of jail free cards in Slight, in Spirits, in Flame Guard as well. So you're always able to kind of live through the fights and grab the XP and come back into the game. So I don't know what it is about Ember. He's just this hero which feels like really punishing to shut down because he just kind of comes back anyway, and then you're like, oh well, that was a waste of time and waste of draft resources, etc. So they ignore it. They'll just prioritize their own game. However, it does leave them with this sort of tricore of like very melee, very kind of blow up dependent heroes. If they are not finding a core on the catch at the start of these fights, then I feel like this Lifestealer could just be juked into oblivion. Do you agree with that, or do you think he's got ways to play the fight?
I think he's going to be very happy and independent once he has items, because he's playing into a Pango, Kunkka, and Ember that never threaten him, right? Like, it is a free Lifestealer game. You know, Kunkka doesn't buy Abyssal, you don't really buy items to stop him. So Lifestealer, as long as he gets into his kind of farm pattern, gets like the Radiance and maybe like a BKB, you know, Basher himself, it does feel like Lifestealer will be, you know, we have to kite him, kill his team, and then we'll deal with him at the very end of the fight, right? So I think it's good signs for Quantum, honestly, but the Tiny has to have a good lane to play with his Darkseer to break open the game. It is so much easier for the Geese to be able to group up and make big moves, right? Like Darkseer, he needs to farm item, Lifestealer needs to farm item. There could be a world where Tiny just by himself, because Shaman and Jakiro, they don't make explosive damage, right? They kind of just set other people up. So there's this weird kind of disconnect between the Tiny and the rest of his team. It's something to look out for on Quantum.
30 seconds now.
Big smoke here once again, the same as game 1 from the Cyber East team, but doesn't look like they're finding anything a lot here. I mean, Lucas is going to reveal the smoke gets broken and he just runs. And that is the benefit of using smoke and splitting up across the map, is that if you're alone, your smoke is a great defensive ability early on in the game. The smoke pops and you just leave. You know there's heroes there. In the night time, very, very useful. So
Remember,
that is the reason why everyone buys the smoke at the start of the game. It's not to find kill, it's just to understand the position.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing to mention here, by the way, do you know what the biggest predator of the goose is in nature?
No. I was trying to think, but no.
You really
what
went.
Is it?
Yeah, I was like, is he actually going to know this? It's a good thing you don't, because I'm making stuff up.
mankind?
It is actually the snake. Therefore, very intelligently here on Quantum, Emptiness has gone for the Giga Snake, the massive serpent ward, which has recently been buffed as well. So that might be the answer they're looking for. We'll see what this gigantic serpent ward can do. I mean, do you like this facet?
It got a nice little buff, right? Because I think it has
12 times
damage, right? Instead of 10, right? Yeah.
Very cool, yeah.
So it really does hit towers as Shaman. Probably giving first blood, unless, you know, they disconnect.
Unless they disconnect.
First blood.
Yeah.
And here come the shots.
Yeah, you always got to sprinkle that doubt in there when you're a caster, don't you? Just to make sure the curse doesn't somehow come true. But nah, he's a goner. That'll be your first blood. A little deep there on the Shaman. Not expecting TA2000 to be that active early on, but he'll take a freebie when he can get him.
I think Solo wants redemption, right? Because the last time he did that disruption was on a Tusk where he died, right? I was like, no. This disrupt at this camp is a death. I know it.
Yeah.
Of course, Kunkka is very, very aggressive compared to a Medusa.
Oh, another block. Solo is a block master. He didn't quite catch it there, but he managed to catch out Emptiness again against the tree line. Solo is just, he's a blocking master. He's been practicing for many years.
I think I checked out, I think he's 34, which is kind of hype. If you're, you know, a budding 28-year-old support player, you know, there's at least another 6 years to make it.
Love a bit of relatability in the pro scene.
There it is.
Mid lane has been quiet as predicted. Quietly, Chira Jr. is pulling ahead. Tiny can struggle with that very, very low attack speed. Doing some damage, but at the end, they're just pulling ahead a little bit. Start off with Solo getting loved in the top side, but turns around with the disruption. He's got an Inseminate here available as well, and we'll use that onto Yayo as well. TH2000 has taken chunks, but unable to get any real kills here. And they have sort of lost like over half a wave here whilst doing this, so I'm unsure about the value of this, but then, oh, they're actually triggering off the foul play. Impinus will live, does get himself the Healing Lotus, and yeah, can't really come close to the wave anymore, so.
Yeah, he wants to get level 4 to get that extra burst to heal from his innate, and it's the way that they're playing it is just trying to whittle down their resources.
Oh, here they go though. Disruption out into the torrent. TH2000 trying to find an angle with the Tidebringer there, but awkwardly just kind of moves into the camps and gets sort of takes a ton of extra damage for his efforts.
You see how toxic the combination is, right? It's just to shock the guy, torrent them from a million miles away, and then Tidebringer from whatever creep you're near. But wasn't really in position. And Solo, look at, as soon as it's off court, I'm ready. Press torrent, then connect. Oh, Dogs is giving him the target.
Yeah, kind of giving him the angle there, and that allows them to get the kill. But they will get the return onto Solo. I mean,
my guy just loaded up the scope and was like, "Hey, here's the shaman. I've just A-click and I got you."
Kill my support. I'm telling you, this is the same thing that happened last game where they just killed each other's supports like twice in a row. It's the same thing again. These guys have an agreement.
You know, if this was a pub, somehow the Darks is flaming the shaman, by the way. Like, you already know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shaman having to rotate mid. Just a little bit of that deterrent.
Crowd does just need a little bit of extra help in this mid lane. He's not having the best of times. I'm not sure this Shaman rotation is really going to make any difference to that.
No. He was just kind of there, but he goes mid. He then stacks the triangle, then back to top. So it's not as if the Darkseid got threatened in his absence. Of course, Darkseid just picked up the Vanguard.
In behind a little bit. TO2000 having a wonderful timeless Kunkka. Which I'm excited to see. Most of these Kunkka carries have been pretty quiet for the early parts of the game from what I've seen, but TO2000 is definitely going to have a game.
But it's because of the support, right? Like, how often do you see SD Kunkka in a safe lane combination where every single disruption is setting up for a torrent and a Tidebringer, right? Like,
this is true.
Often against Kunkka, you're trying to dodge the Tidebringer. You're not really utilizing torrent that well, and in the carry role, it's just kind of still available. But here, it's just every time you step up, take a torrent to the face, take a level 2 disseminate, then have the bonus damage in place. It is a really, really aggressive lane, and it's kind of fun to see. It's maybe a combination that other teams might think about in the future, because you just can't step near the wave when these two heroes hit some early levels.
I'm a big fan of oh god, I'm gonna have to say it, Promulgate from the Shadow Demon that facet is really, really nice just to work in combination with Disseminate. It gets you surprisingly low. Already a good spell. Really giving you that extra bit of aggression. And again, move on to Shaman, and Shaman is absolutely going to drop here. Kira Junior and problems. Helping out with that one as the pressure starting to mount here. Not really seeing a whole lot of counterplay coming out
Is under attack.
from the side of Quantum at the moment.
They just don't have counterplay. One of my concerns with the lineup was the fact that Tiny's the only kind of active hero on the map. Shaman's a hero, they play behind other heroes having success, and in Lifesteal he needs to farm an entire Radiance. Darkseer wants to farm an entire Aura, right? They're not explosive side lane cores that run around the map. Compare that though to a Pangolier. At any minute, he's probably going to TP to an engagement if he sees it. And Kunkka, he's happy to, throw a boat in if required. So we'll see if this disparity in side lane cores will come to light at solo.
They're trying to force a fight, but it's a double damage available for the Ember Spirit, but he's still going to give the kill to Solo. But Kira Jr. will be able to get at least one in response and back himself away. A little bit steep there from the side of the Cyber Goose. Kunkka trying to grab him and just take in these stacks, and I'm not entirely convinced that they're going to have too many ways to really just stop them at least taking the hard camp here. I don't think they'll go for the Ancients. That feels like an overreach, and they will agree.
Yeah, I think the only time you take the Ancients is if the Pangolier comes above. But Shaman, he's TPing top. He identifies the fact that Kunkka would be by himself